fistful of thunder, but always alone. You never wore armor, just pride on your skin, with a smile full of movies and a heart built to win. And I watched you fall like a sun past its climb, but I hear your laugh echo back through time. One last kick, one last fight, one more stand in the dying light. You were faster than fear, sharper than fate. Now I carry your fire through every gate. One last bow, one last grin. You taught me where a warrior begins, and if I fall, I'll fall like you. In the fists and the truth I knew. They never saw past the stunts or the show, but I saw the scars you never let show. Born between borders, never quite in, so you kicked every door till the walls gave. I fight in your rhythm, I strike in your style, your voice in my ear every time I go wild. You would always say, then hit him with something from Cassavetes. One last kick, one last fight, a ghost in red in the fading light. You gave me the courage to grit the spark, to hunt through the dark with a beating heart. One last bow, one last grin. You were more than the battles we couldn't win. And if they ask why I still stand tall, it's cause I remember you gave it all. Nobody gets out clean, but we go out swinging, or with a bang.
Yo, Joe, listen up, I got a story to tell about a guy named Logan. Oh, he's so swell, he's the G.I. Joe gamer. Cool and witty, talking about those characters, heroes, and villains. At midnight we shout, Yo, Joe, or Cobra, talking about the Joe team and a Cobra tide. Joe's got snake eyes, the silent ninja in black. Quick with his swords, he'll give you a heart attack. Then there's Duke, the leader, so bold, gung-ho, always ready to fight and make those cameos. And we can't forget about Scarlet, the ultimate girl power. A fierce warrior, she'll make her enemies cower. Cobra's got Destro to supply the weapons. Cobra commander plots and schemes, see ruling the world in his dreams. Zartan is never what he seems, and Baron is rocks that black leather outfit. Shoots you quick and slip out the back of the pit. Yo, Joe, Cobra, Logan's here to give his G.I. Joe takes. Oh yeah, Yo, Joe, Cobra, talking about the characters, it's a G.I. Joe thing.
Mature content warning. On Logan's Joe Takes, strategic commentary may include strong language, heated opinions, classified references. Time to call in the Joes. Opposing forces may attempt audio interference. Logan's Joe Takes. Mission begins now.
Yo, Joe, I'm Logan the G.I. Joe Gamer. Welcome to Joe Takes 63. Yes, sir. This is going to be Quick Kick from the Hill. A little background music while I chat here. Should have had that ready already, but it's a hot day. We're in the 90s here. Dealing with a lot of heat issues, and we're going to start like we always do. We'll show off the figure. The vintage Quick Kick figure. This is the original 1985 Quick Kick. Now, whether he came out in 85 or 86, still the same mold, same figure. Now, the only difference in the 1985 and 86 figure was the color of the file card. They had the original ones on a peach or a tan color, and then the new ones were on a gray color. Now, I'm going to play the file card, my file card video for you, so a little later, so you can check out who MacArthur S. Ito is. Quick Kick and we'll get into the character a bit later. But that's my vintage quick kick. I'm gonna leave it here because we'll probably take a look at him again. Now they only came out with 4 quick kicks, and the good news is I have all 4 to show you. So now that I'm aware of, I mean, they may have come out with quick kick in other countries, and it's a little too loud. So they came out with one in the vintage line, and I just showed you the 1985 quick kick. And then in 2009, I'm pretty sure, the last of the 25th anniversary, before they started other things like with the Rise of Cobra line. Same style though, Rise of Cobra. I call these the modern figures. 25th anniversary is probably the best style because this is when it came out. Now this came with a 5-pack with Cobra Commander and a Cobra Claw and a bunch of other things. For the Pyramid of Darkness, you get a piece of the mass device, which never actually came out. Now this sword just slides right in there. And I don't think that this one, I'm pretty sure I have all the accessories for this, although I couldn't find my battle stand for this guy because they all came with battle stands. Now, I'm pretty sure that he did not come with a set of nunchucks like most of the other ones did. I don't have any of my accessories from my original 85 character because I actually I acquired that in the trade. So did a lot of that in the late 80s. Did a lot of the figures that I didn't have. But yeah, one of his hands on this particular figure is a topping hand. Yeah, type motion. And and then he had the one hand that he could, grip his sword with. So they give him a pair of nunchucks, probably wouldn't have been all that cool, but at least he looked like the original 1985. It was pretty cool. But I ended up actually getting this third. The one I actually got before this was the 2000, I think it was 2010, 2011. They came up with a line of modern figures, or 25th anniversary, whatever you want to call it. That was what they called the Pursuit of Cobra line, which Shadow Tracker came with that. Last time I don't have the Shadow Tracker figure, but I do have the Quick Kick figure that came out that in that line. And as you can see, his battle stand even says Quick Kick, so that's pretty cool. Now he came with a pair of nunchucks. Nunchaku is a different weapon, very similar but different. And he came with an Uzi, which I thought was pretty cool. And it came with this big old sword, which I'll show you here in a minute. But before I do that, I want to show you these right here. These are boxing gloves, but yet they just pop over the hand so that he can hold accessories, whether he has boxing gloves on or not. So he's actually wearing here a pair of boxing gloves. So if I take the boxing gloves off without taking the gun out of his hand, see he's got the little wrapping around his wrist. And then you just pop it right back on, really easy, and he's got his boxing gloves back on. So I thought it was cool. Now this was the only Quick Kick that came with a shirt and him wearing shoes, because like the original, all the rest of them do not have shoes or a shirt. Let's check out this sword. Now this, I'm gonna pop it off his back. Nice little shoe. He has this little like fanny pack right there. I thought that was kind of cool too. Different, definitely a different version of Quick Kick. Now this was, like I said, was part of the Pursuit of Cobra line, but it was a Toys R Us exclusive, and they brought out 4. The other one was a Doc figure. There was Arctic, but it was like an orange Doc. It was kind of weird. And I have that one, but I used that for other parts for whatever reason, because I was trying to Frankenstein some figures together to get the entire line. And then they had a Snow Serpent and bench press, but bench press was actually Rock and Roll. I guess they lost the rights to that code name because they called him bench press. And for that figure, I have the bench press figure, but I do not have the Snow Serpent, which I wish I had because it was a very cool Snow Serpent. But as you can see, there's a nice sword, and it's got a little paint on it, so I'm thinking it got stuck down in there. Now see, It sticks in there really good. And what had happened is I had for a while there I would just leave their accessories in the sheaths and all that. Um, and apparently last time I had him out, I had his sword in the sheath. But when I put him away, I will take the sword out because a lot of times it'll warp the plastic, or like this, as you can see, the plastic will stick or the paint will dry or whatever inside there, and it'll get stuck, which I just had to pop it out to get it out of there. Now, so there he is. He comes with a sword and a Uzi and a nunchuck. A set of nunchucks. Now, the original figure came with, like I said, came with a set of nunchucks and a backpack and a sword, very similar to this. But that's going to take us to the classified figure, and he's number two. He's number 115 in the series. So they're not. They will be soon enough, though. They're at the rate they're going. And he is a window packaging figure, but he does not come with. It did not come with a Foot Locker, which I'm disappointed with. I think they could put the Foot Locker down in the bottom with all the accessories. A place to keep all your accessories. But I know you keep the accessories in the plastic and you don't need a Foot Locker. I have to say though, the art on the box there, that's pretty cool. And then you've got the artwork on the side also in 116, not 116. Ugh, you get to my brain. But, after a while, the numbers, it's easy enough to lose track. I remember them back in the day by year. So this was, he originally came out in 1985, but this figure came out, I'd say last year. I think I picked him up last year, and so he's got the sash with the shuriken or throwing stars, set up differently. Before it was straight across the shoulder, and now this is set up so it just goes over the side like that, which is it's pretty cool. But I don't know how they would set the sash up the way he had it originally on a figure like this. It's still pretty cool. Now he came with this backpack that has two swords, and each of these swords has a little, I don't know if you can see it, but a dragon head. And I don't know if I brought that out in his own Joe Takes video, which we will take a look at later. But yeah, the backpack just comes off easily enough. I don't know why they made it red. I wish it had been black like the original, but it is what it is. Now, he also came with two sets of nunchucks, which I think is really cool. That pop in and out of here. It takes a little bit of work to get them in there, but they just slide right in and out. And then you can slide these in the hands. This has that soft, gummy kind of plastic on these newer figures. That in some ways is really good, in other ways not. It's not really good for painting, but for posing and posability and durability, it's pretty good. At least as far as we know for now. But then he's got pants, which on the original it was just all black as far as I could tell. This is the only way I ever had this figure, so I'm not sure. And he had the black wristbands, which he had on the 25th anniversary line too. And so there's your classified quick kick. Now he has the Rising Sun from Japan on his bandana, on his headband there. Now, this particular quick kick, he did come with a throwing star, but it's set up like this, so you can pose it like he's throwing it, and that's kind of cool. And then it has two different sides, so you can do it that way. That's kind of cool. If you know anything about the cartoon, we'll talk about this later. This is actually a chocolate bar, a frozen fudgies bar, and in his first appearance in the cartoon, that was mentioned. So I thought it was a nice touch to put that in there. He also comes with a separate head sculpt, and this was kind of like I don't know. He's posing with his mouth a little bit. Now, what I did in in the On Joe Takes video, which I popped the head. Most of these heads interchange really easily, and this is no exception. And what I did was I made it look like when he was posing, like he was eating the frozen fudgy bar. It was like, ooh, good, you know, with this particular head scope. So I thought it was kind of interesting to have this head scope. I don't think that's what it was for. I think it was supposed to be for like a martial art pose, but for regular posing and display, I actually prefer this head sculpt. So, yeah. I mean, maybe just good. And then, like I said, it takes a bit of work, but you can pop that back down in here to get this pretty nunchuck away. Now they came in the packaging out, you know, and on display in the box, but I think they actually sit better in there and look better on the figure like that, unless they're in these hands, of course. But he also came with 2 sets of interchangeable hands. Now, one set of hands is the ones he came with, the 2 extra sets, I should say. So he actually has 3 sets. He has the gun hands or gripping hands for his weapons, and then you pop those off and you swap them out. He has a pair of, I'm only going to do one side. He has a fist hand, and then he also has the karate chopping hand, like on the 25th anniversary figure. Now, like I said, there's the one for the other side, the karate chopping, and the other fist for the left side. So as you can see, we got all those. I'm gonna pop that back out. I prefer the hands that can actually hold the weapons myself, but that's just me. I think this is a very cool figure, a very nice interpretation, and yeah, of course, what would a Joe Takes be like if I didn't drop something? And a nice update and a tribute, actually, to the original Quick Kick figure. Pretty nice, I thought, anyway. Now, I like the blue on the original. I wish they'd have done the belt in blue, or at least painted the pouches on the belt blue. That would have been cool, like on the original here. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's a very highly posable figure, which in both my On Joe Takes and in my G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright part that I'll have later on in the episode, you'll be able to check it out a little bit better. The On Joe Takes will show you the figure a lot better. Goes out of here. In a lot of ways, this particular figure kind of makes him out to be Bruce Lee. I think that was the original goal, that he was supposed to look like Bruce Lee, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Just my personal musings on the character. I think Quick Kick is a really cool character, but I'll get into the character here in a little bit. Chat about the character. But that is the 4 Quick Kick figures that they brought out. Now, like I said, they may have come out with some in other countries, there's other mediums. Like I said, we're getting into the various mediums. He was, I don't know if he was in a commercial. I don't think so. But he was in the comic book, and he was in the cartoon. And I'm pretty sure he appeared in the cartoon first, because he did not appear until like, let's see, June, I think, of the comic book in 1986, and he was in the G.I. Joe miniseries in 1985. So this is live. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Cool Gamer. This is live, my friend. See, there's your chat just popped up there. And I forgot to mention here, we had Cool Gamer pop in. So it's good to see you, Cool Gamer. I just jumped right into the character today, buddy. Like I said, it's so hot. I'm not thinking straight. And we also had this comment. He forgot about Quick Kick. This is from Golden Glover Champ. He was great in the animated show. Don't remember him from the comic at all. First action figure I ever wanted and got. That's cool. Quick Kick is a cool character, so I'm glad you were able to acquire him. I never was able to buy him in the stores. He was the one I got later, like I said, in a trade. But oddly enough, as I was looking at my comics, which I will talk about here in a bit, we'll get into that. Okay. Like I said, he first appeared in the cartoon in 1985, and he appeared as a stuntman who saved Alpine and Bazooka from Storm Shadow, a bunch of snow serpents, and some Crimson Guardsmen, and a Cobra officer as well was with him. Now there is some debate over that scene, because in that scene, Quick Kick easily him and Storm Shadow jumped at each other like this in the cartoon, and Storm Shadow fell over and was defeated. Now, I personally don't think that he could easily defeat Storm Shadow like that. So my opinion on that is that Storm Shadow was, if he was full Cobra, then he was conflicted at the time. If he was undercover as a Joe, then he wouldn't have wanted to defeat Quick Kick, and he would have let him go. That made it look like he was defeated. It's easier to take defeat than it is to, defeat somebody, a G.I. Joe, if you're a G.I. Joe. Because later on, Storm Shadow became a Joe. And I don't know if Storm Shadow thought about becoming a G.I. Joe at the time, and not in the cartoon at all. So I'm pretty sure what happened there was Storm Shadow saw a chance to not kill Alpine and Bazooka and let them go, which is kind of where my headcanon with Storm Shadow is in the cartoon. But that's for the Storm Shadow video, which I already did. So in the cartoon, though, like I said, he first appeared with Alpine and Bazooka, and they were good friends throughout the whole animated series. Mostly Alpine and Bazooka, but Quick Kick had an adventure with Bazooka. I don't think I ever saw one where it was just him and Alpine, which is funny, because we'll get into that here about the comic book in a bit. But yeah, him and Bazooka had the adventure of Cobra Quake that actually was, it was definitely a Quick Kick episode. And then the other episode that was really a Quick Kick episode was called Lasers in the Night. And in that, he got a girlfriend, and everybody thought that his girlfriend was a Cobra, and then to prove her innocence, she went and found Snake Island and went and tried to take on the Cobras by herself. She was a martial artist too, and so she wasn't a G.I. Joe yet, but she kind of blew that. It happens. And then Quick Kick had to go and save her. And the really cool thing, hey Matt, Dirty History and Hobbies, how's it going? The really cool thing about see, that's why I turn the comments on, Cool Gamers, so I can catch your comments. But yes, Dirty History and Hobbies. Hey, Matt, Dirty History and Hobbies. Good to see you, Matt. We are in 90-degree weather here, and my brain is kind of fried. It's still in the 90s in the evening here. So, anyway, let me say hi to you proper in the chat. And Lasers in the Night was fun, but in the cartoon, Logan just made some chicken salad. Yeah, we had some pasta, like some chili mac with egg meat, kind of good. My son Jake made us a good meal. So in the cartoon, Quick Kick liked to quote movies. He didn't do that in the comics, but in the cartoon, he was always quoting movies like. When his girlfriend went wrong, he said, "When like Mae West said, when women go wrong, men go after them." He would, he was in that episode especially. He was quoting Jimmy Stewart, and he loved movies. And so I incorporate that into my fanfic when I write stories with Quick Kick, which I recently did. But that's going to take us to the comic book, which. These are the comics that I've got out to show you. There was one other one that I did kind of want to show you from IDW. It was they gave their all issue, but let me explain first. I don't have that one out, and I'm not going to show it to you. But he first appeared in G.I. Joe 45. Now in this issue, he appeared with Alpine, and was supposed to go on a mission with Flint, Snake Eyes, and Spirit Iron Knight. Spirit ended up getting called away. Your air conditioning is out, so you're cooking this evening too. Oh man, the parts are on order. Well, we've got our stuff going full blast. They don't really. I mean, they have central air in Utah, but it's not something that's standard in most homes. It's something I'll have to install at some point if I ever get the money to. But in this issue, yeah, he first appeared with Alpine, and they joined Flint on a mission with Spear and Iron Knife on Cobra Island of all places. It was really cool. Great issue. If you know this issue, you know what I'm talking about. This is the one where Storm Shadow figured out that that Zartan is the one who killed their uncle, the Hardmaster, and they went after him. And he was on Cobra Island. It was a very awesome issue. Plus, Ripcord was trying to get his girlfriend back, who was a Cobra, was a daughter of a Cobra, and they had taken her. He thought they had taken her to Cobra Island, but but yeah, it's like this is the next issue. Really cool ninja action in this storyline. Now, the next appearance of Quick Kick, at least that I recall, was G.I. Joe 52. What that's doing there. Put that out of the way. G.I. Joe 52. I really love this issue. It has Storm Shadow squaring off against Quick Kick and handily showing Quick Kick that he was not the martial artist he thought he was. Now, that doesn't mean that Quick Kick's not a badass martial artist. It just means Storm Shadow is something more. Now, Storm Shadow at this point had come to terms with himself, was at peace with himself, and was a true ninja in heart, mind, and body. And there were, other than Snake Eyes, probably no defeating him. AC wasn't stocked for houses here in West Virginia either. Thankfully, the previous owner put it in. Oh, God, I was lucky. We have a swamp cooler, but it has to be serviced, and it never really worked properly anyway. We got an air conditioner in the wall, which is an actual air conditioner, which is nice. And I got one behind me here, and it's just got fans. It's just hot. But the cool part about this particular issue is I first went into a comic book store as a 16-year-old. This is the first time I've ever been to a comic book store. I loved going into comic book stores as I got older. But I had purchased 2 subscriptions. One was for Doctor Strange, and the other was for Joe. And that day, they had this in stock, and so my first subscription for a comic book that I ever got was this comic right here, G.I. Joe 52, with Quick Kick right there on the cover. As I was going over things, I thought that was pretty cool. That my first subscription comic ever that I ever picked up was this one right here with Quick Kick. So that's nice. I just wanted to mention it to you guys today. Now, later on, they had a saga where they went into Barovia to rescue a diplomat, and it turned out that the State Department had already negotiated his one of the other departments. Yeah, the State Department had negotiated his release, and so they were there rescuing no one, and so they were disavowed, and they were on their way trying to escape, and their contact got killed, and Quick Kick was severely injured, and Snow Job was injured, so Stalker opted to stay behind, and he ordered Outback to escape and let get the word out to General Hawk. And so this 2-part storyline right here concluded in issue 62, which Quick Kick is on the cover of 2 comics in a row, but he is injured in both. Now between these was Special Missions number 6, if I remember correctly, and in that is the Outback story of how he escaped Barovia to get the word out. It's pretty cool. So these are some badass comics. If you like Larry Hama, then you should really get into these old Marvel comics. I have most of them, but Per bought me the whole set and the hardback volumes. It's awesome. Thank you again, Per. The cover art seems like more refined style than issue 45. Yes. Oh, definitely. definitely. I can see who the different artists are if you want. Miss being able to get subscription service down at the local comic shop. I haven't had that since Lee's Comics back in the 90s. Right. Yeah, and that was the day, man. And back then, though, the comics came out 4 months early. And in the late 80s, early 90s, they kind of fixed that by doing these mid-month issues. And for 4 months, they did that until they were all caught up. And so it comes out the month of the comic. But back then, it was definitely 4 months ahead. Like this issue here, it says March, and actually came out the year before in December. But yeah, that's how comics were back then. Now this particular issue 45 was drawn by Rod Wiggum, who was a long mainstay artist on G.I. Joe. Very cool artist. Yeah, I store mine back to back because I don't have a lot of funding for stuff, but I love this cover too. This one here. Now, let me set that here, and we'll take a look and see who. I can do this without taking it out again, but doesn't look like I can. No, I'm going to have to pop it out again. Gotta be really careful not to damage the book. That's still Rod Wiggum, but the cover items may have been different. And you know, a lot of the time, like this right here. Let me see. I'm willing to bet that's a Larry Hama breakdown. Larry Hama used to do a lot of the breakdowns, and I know he drew this one, but it looks kind of different. This might be a Larry Hama. They have no signature on the cover, unfortunately. And I could probably look it up, but they didn't say who did the cover back in the day. That was another thing they didn't do. They do a lot of different things now, which is both good and bad. You know, some of the things they used to do was good. Well, sometimes they're just trying to evoke a different mood with the art style. That's a possibility too, man. And I'm trying to get to all your comments today. Let me see here. Now, Quick Kick was in a few other issues, special missions, and he was part of the aftermath of Cobra Island and a little bit, you know. And so they had quite a few issues and storylines with Quick Kick in, but never a really solid storyline until G.I. Joe Special Missions 27. In this issue, Stalker, Quick Kick, and Outback got back together, and they went on a small mission to Mexico, and they just had to deliver something, and that was it. That was their only mission. So Stalker's like, well, while we're here, we might as well enjoy the vacation. I like to take it like a vacation. And so Quick Kick and Outback, he told them to go do their thing, and he was going to take care of it. And he went off, and he finished their mission, and they ended up getting on this tour bus and being attacked by terrorists naturally. And so Quick Kick and Outback saved the day. It was pretty cool. Very awesome special mission, but that's Quick Kick right there on the cover, just in his civvies, in pants and a shirt. Very unlike Quick Kick. Now, for those of you who don't want to know the total history of Quick Kick, you know, you might want to cover your ears for this next storyline, because in G.I. Joe 107, Quick Kick and 6 other Joes were killed in action. Now, this was a very cool storyline, and he wasn't the first to go. In fact, it was really sad because Doc was the first to go, and he was mowed down by a Saw Viper, which I got Saw Viper coming up in a few weeks here that I'm going to be doing a Joe take on. And Quick Kick was really, once they got control of the situation, Quick Kick was really distraught with Doc's passing. And this is a very powerful issue of G.I. Joe. And it was like, oh, he survived that, and then just a little while later, him and Breaker were killed on a rage. They were right in a rage, and they got blown up. And they were killed in action, as it were, KIA. And so that is where, for me, in the comic books and everything else, Quick Kick's story ended. This was well after the cartoon. and all of that. So for me, Quick Kick, you know, I prescribe to a lot of Larry Hama storylines, and so for me, Quick Kick is a Joe who lost his life in action. Now, that takes it to my headcanon of you know, other medium. You know, like I said, he was in that one They Gave Their All issue, and that's what it was. He was just on the cover and then mentioned inside when they had like a funeral for the Jones that passed in the IDW series, written by Larry Hama. And I do have that cover, but you know, it's pretty much just a retake of that in a lot of ways. Not exact, but you know what I mean. They have a lot of the Joes who lost their lives throughout the comics and stuff on that issue. For me, and my headcanon, Quick Kick, it's kind of bittersweet for me because I wrote a storyline with Quick Kick over the last couple of years and put together a little movie that I had called Operation from the Hilt, but Joe Operation from the Hilt, but I'm changing that and cleaning it up and redoing it, and I'm calling it G.I. Joe Dungeons and Disinformation. The soundtrack for which is already out on From the Hilt, and you can check that out. And most of the songs are out on this channel too. But as far as being in the new movie, I do have a scene with him in the new movie, but it's a flashback, and it is a Jinx remembering him, and it's kind of my tribute to Quick Kick in a lot of ways, but so is the music video, which I played at the beginning. But you can always, you can check out the music video. It's on both channels. It's on G.I. Joe Gamer, Logan the G.I. Joe Gamer channel, and From the Hilt. And it's called One Last Kick. Then we got On Joe Takes 63, which has that same music. And then I've got the file card, which has a totally different set of music, and it's that I'm gonna let's check that out before we get too far into talking to some more about his character. So let me play for you. Before I do that, I forgot to do this. I was meaning to show you better, more close-up versions of each of those comics I just showed you. And so I wanted to do that real quick. Sometimes it's hard to remember to do everything, and I don't want to cheapen Quick Kick's episode or any other Joe or Cobra's episode, but there it is. And wow, hello, Cool Gamer again. It's good to see you, bud. All right, because he popped in here on Cool Gamer 2 channel. All right, so let me put on his file card for you, and we'll check that out.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
Yo, Joe. Code name, Quick Kick. Silent weapons, file name, MacArthur S.O. Grady, E5 Sergeant U.S. Army. Birthplace, Los Angeles, CI. Primary specialty, infantry. Secondary specialty, intelligence. Subject's Japanese father and Korean mother owned a grocery store in Watts, not accepted by either the Japanese or Koreans because of his mixed ancestry and too short to play basketball. Quick Kick turned to martial arts, all martial arts. He is a ranking black belt in Taekwondo, Goju Ryu, Southern Praying Mantis, Kung Fu, Tai Chi sword, Zen sword, and Wing Chun. He was working as a stuntman in Hollywood when he was recruited for the G.I. Joe team. Like Mae West said, when women go wrong, men go after them. From General Hawk's file, here's the situation. You want to gain access to a Faye-fortified villa, 12-foot tall, continuous wall top with razor spiral and only one gate through it. 2-inch steel plate on the gate. 2 sandbag guard houses with direct telephone link to the main house. 4 guards with submachine guns. 2 Dobermans and a silent alarm hooked to a dead man's switch. That one of the guards is leaning on at all times. How to do it? Have quick kick hit it. That's how.
There's a file card. Hope you enjoyed that. I do have a bit more for you tonight. So I have the on Joe takes I'm going to show you right before we jump into the Act 1, Scene 3 of G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright, which is really short. It's only like a little over 3 minutes, but sometimes you don't need a lot. And I stretched that one out. I filmed for a long time, and I'm like, wow, you know, when I filmed it, I'm like, this only came out to like 3 minutes worth of stuff. I was like, oh, okay. But you know, kind of same thing kind of happened. I filmed the Act 1, Scene 4, and finished up Act 1 yesterday, and man, I filmed all day. I filming, and it's less than 5 minutes of a video when it's all done, and I'm like, wow. But that will be for next week for our Night Creeper video. But this week we're gonna show you the quick kick, one last kick part for G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright. Now, if you heard in the file card there, it said that his rank was E5, but if you noticed on the file cards, they all said that he was an E4 specialist. Now, in my head canon, he had been approved and was ready to get his E5 papers before his mission where he was killed, and I'm saying that he would have got his E5 papers right after that. So posthumously, he was E5, but he just the paperwork hadn't caught up to him yet. So he never actually served as a sergeant, but he was in you know, on paper, as it were, eating videos. Yeah, editing videos eats up time fast. It sure does, dude, man. Like I said, I put a lot into these videos, and I'm enjoying the heck out of making this G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright movie and redoing G.I. Joe Dungeons and Disinformation. So I've got like 5 more parts to do on Dungeons and Disinformation, and a lot of that it's just clean up. I don't have any more filming to do. It's just re-editing and making sure that it looks good and everything. So those I can probably get done within a couple of weeks, hopefully. Yeah, and I want to have that out before G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright. And then G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright, what you'll see tonight is raw footage. But before we jump into that, let's look at his on Joe takes so you can get a better look at the G.I. Joe classified version of Quick Kick, which I find to be really good. They hit their stride. The time you put into shows, the videos looks great. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Matt. I definitely I put my heart and I put love into it, and it was weird because it was so hot and I was really not feeling good at all yesterday. And then I watched it back and went, man, I did a really good job. And so when I started feeling better, when it cooled down, because with asthma, a lot of times when it gets really hot, I really feel down. But I've had vitamin C and I've had potassium today, so I'm pretty good. But here is on Joe takes on Joe takes 63, as it were, for Quick Kick, and you'll get a better look at the character.
skin, with a smile full of movies and a heart built to win. And I watched you fall like a sun past its climb. But I hear your laugh echo back through time. One last kick, one last fight, one more stand in the dying light. You were faster than fear, sharper than fate. Now I carry your fire through every gate. One last bow, one last grin. You taught me where a warrior begins. And if I fall, I'll fall like you. Within the fist and the truth I knew. They never saw past the stunts or the show, but I saw the scars you never let show. Born between borders, never quite in, so you kicked every door till the walls gave. I fight in your rhythm, I strike in your style, your voice in my ear every time I go wild. Think you're going to land it, you would always say, then hit it with something from Cassavetes. One last kick, one last fight, a ghost in red in the fading light. You gave me the courage to grit the spark.
For some reason, when I AI generated any images with Quick Kick, they wouldn't put the rising sun on his bandana like he has on his figures. Now, I wanted to give you guys one last look at the classified and the vintage figure next to each other, so you can see how well good of a job they did of putting together this classified as a tribute to the original. So that's my take on Quick Kick, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I do have that part of G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright I'm going to share with you. Now all of these I'm going to put into it's only going to be available here to ever watch as a single part, and the rest will be in the G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright as a feature-length movie. But not like I said, now this is the raw footage. I wouldn't consider it complete. I mean, I've got all the sound effects and all the music and everything, but I may go through and clean up. Like there's a scene at the end that I may or may not keep in it because it's also in the next scene. But it fits the way it for both scenes separately. It fits, but putting it together into one movie, I may have to take one or the other out. And it won't matter how long or how short it is when it's all together in one movie. So, but for the purposes of tonight's episode, I will play that, and then I'll come back and I'll talk a little bit about it. And if you have any questions, I will answer questions. But I need to play this first so you guys get an idea of exactly kind of what's going on in this type of filming.
Hilt fan play motion. You will see hands. Figures are plastic, but the voices are real. It's from the hilt. Let's play.
And what's kind of funny is a lot of the voices are not real; they are AI. But yeah, some of the voices are real. I should edit that now that I think about it. But all right, let's play this and see what you guys think. Like I said, it's really short today. This particular part of G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright. This is Act 1, Scene 3. Get down to the movie clips, and this is One Last Kick. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Get this off the screen, and we'll watch this like Say Jinx, you alright?
So, just to recap, we're not supposed to kill them, but they're allowed to kill us. Sounds like a Schwarzenegger sequel.
Exactly. And no swords. Hawk's orders.
Oh great. So it's bare fists versus boutique ninjas. And what's that in your hand?
It's a katana.
So that's how it is. Totally fair.
Welcome to the Ninja Adjacent Club.
Excuse me, but I'm like martial arts royalty. You're the one who cheats with smoke bombs.
Tell that to the bruises you got the last time we sparred.
Emotional bruises. Like that time I watched Old Yeller. Showtime suckers. Yippee-ki-yay. Mother discount ninjas.
Focus.
I'm always focused. That was Bruce Willis, by the way, from Die Hard, with a twist.
Like I haven't seen Die Hard.
Wax on. Nap off.
You know that we're supposed to be de-escalating this situation, right?
I'm trying. I haven't even broken anyone's femur yet. They're bailing.
One left, though. Follow my lead.
I'm always 2 steps behind you, but my kicks are prettier.
The stunts or the show, but I saw the scars you never let show. Born between borders, never quite in, so you kicked every door till the walls gave. I fight in your rhythm, I strike in your style, your voice in my ear every time I go wild. Say goodbye to landing, you'd always say, then hit him with something from Cassavetes. One last kick, one last fight, a ghost in red in the fading light. You gave me the courage to grit the spark, to hunt through the dark with a beating heart. One last bow, one last grin, you were more than the battles we couldn't win. And if they ask why I still stand tall, it's 'cause I remember you gave it all. Nobody gets out clean, but we go out swinging, or with a bang.
Jinx! You in there? Are you good?
Rat. Yeah, I'm good.
Vigott movement, inte tres. Several kontakts inkomning.
Eyes sharp. Let's move.
Night creepers.
That there's Act 1, Scene. It's the 4th part, but it's Act 1, Scene 3. So I hope you enjoyed it. The downside to playing these on these Joe takes is that you got the on Joe takes, you got the music video, and then you have that part, and they all have the same song in it. But it's a good song, but you get to hear it 3 times in one episode. But you know, you can see the context of everything. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing when putting those movies together, or you know, I'm really just playing with my toys. But you know, sometimes I get the help of my family, and I would like to have a real voice actors to do both those characters. But I haven't had any takers on those ones yet. I do have someone who's going to be doing CoverGirl's voice. I have a voice actor for Copperhead, Luna Songbird is CoverGirl. Copperhead is being voiced by Purr. Just Law's art is voicing Zorana and Vipra. I voiced Tunnel Rat in that, and I do a decent Tunnel Rat voice. I voice Flint and Beachhead in these movies, and a lot of almost all of G.I. Joe Dungeons Disinformation I'm voicing. Very little of it will be AI voices, like Hawk and Duke. I originally voiced them for that, but I'm going to redo them with the AI voices I have for Dungeons and Disinformation, because they turned out really good. So I'm enjoying making these movies. I hope the results show that. I'm just hoping everybody else seems to enjoy them. I got Joe Chake's done, so looks like I'm all caught up. I got everything that I wanted to share with you. I think I shared everything with you today on Quick Kick. Quick Kick is an amazing character. I hope you guys enjoyed my take on him. And on that note, unless anybody has any questions, Logan out.
Logan's room full of Joe Take dreams. Crimson Guard with eyes on the team. Snake Eyes silent and mean, but tough to rile. Roadblock rhymes and cooks with style. the first shirt, making with a plan. Cobra Commander schemes with his clan. Scarlet Sharp hits hard, flips fast. Destro's armor gleams from the past. Logan G.I. Joe takes fierce and honest view. Red versus blue, it's up to you. Stay a while and listen for the consumerism. Logan's G.I. Joe's takes given with enthusiasm. Zartan shifting sneaks in disguise. Storm Shadow's blade cut through lies. Baron is cold with her deadly aim. Shipwreck laughs, wins the game. Doc's healing hand in the fray. Flint's shotgun clears the way. Major Blood's battle cry echoes near. General Hawk leads, we cheer. From the hilt on YouTube, tune in for a day. Joe takes to help you with your play. Let's put these characters to the test. Logan's the G.I. Joe gamer, plays it best.